We are live, sweetheart. Welcome, Em.
Hi, beautiful.
It's lovely to hear you. Hey, there she is. Welcome.
Hey. Sorry, I'm a working lady today, but I'm a part of it. I'm here for it.
Hmm. It's lovely to have you a part of it, even though you're working.
It's lovely to be able to be a part of it, to be honest, babe. I'm a cleaner, so I can clean.
Mm.
And yeah, earlier today, my clients were home, so it's not like right now where I can have a quick chat.
We'll just let the few more women join us. Hi, is it Nara? Hi.
Naira.
Say that again,
Naira.
darling. Naira, hi, welcome,
How
sweetheart. Well, we're well. I'm just gonna wait another minute or two and just like let the women come that are going to join us live. And then I'm going to pass it over. It's so nice to be meeting each of you as you're arriving, and I imagine over the week with all of the different women that there'll be so many different experiences we get to share together. It's just wonderful. I just here we go. Aaron's live. Welcome, Ez.
Thanks, Jay. Happy to be here, sweetheart.
Mm. This is here.
Hey, Em.
Hi, Elsa. Welcome.
Hi, Naira.
I'm not sure if I should be on mute or not, so hi.
No, you're fine. Yeah, we can have a little chat here while we're.
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk.
Sorry, I could have said that.
Please bring your energy here, sweetheart.
Here I am.
She's here. I feel her. Elsa looks like she's trying to find the screen.
I'm really excited to receive you here, Melaine, and this beautiful offering.
My pleasure. It's such a pleasure to be able to share it. Yeah, thank you for making it into the space. I know Friday nights can be a pretty tricky time at this time of day. Yeah, so I can understand, I appreciate everyone that's made it in person, and I know that many others will probably tune in a little bit later tonight once they've dealt with all the parenting responsibilities and end of day things.
Technically, we have 1 more minute before the doors close. So, we've just got 4:20. So maybe that can be a really beautiful time to hand it over to Mile for the segment and the session this evening.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you so much. Welcome, ladies and sisters, to this first deep dive and stepping into the fire together tonight as we sort of initiate ourselves into this space of the medicine of women. And we had such a beautiful opening ceremony this morning, and we're able to really reflect on what is our edge, what is the edges that we're leaning into in ourselves. And I know like many others, this online domain and territory is an edge. It's definitely an edge. There's a beauty to being able to connect, like one of the other sisters said, in different timelines. She's living in a totally different day on the other side of the world, and yet we're all together in the same space. And then there's always the unknown territory of technological glitches and things that happen that are out of our control. But it really is such a blessing to be able to to do our very best to gather up our energy and to be here together and lean into these edges, all of us in our own way. And so as we step into this space together, whether those of us that are here in person and women that will be tuning in at a later time, we really are gathering at this moment by the fire. And as women and as humans have from time immemorial gathered by the fire to come together and to remember what's important in life, to bring our resources, to bring our gifts, to share food, to share warmth, to share nourishment, to share laughter, to share tears, and to receive the light of the fire, that it this guiding light that the fire is, but also to hand over our burdens and things that are beyond our control and beyond our understanding and beyond our ability to manage or to carry, and to give it over to the fire. And in this way, the fire is like a purifying force, like an energy of its own. It's completely sentient and has its own spirit. And it's like it's always existing, here in this pot that's sitting here in front of me, this Agni Hotra pot. The spirit of the fire is already here. I just haven't yet added the spark to ignite it. And so, in this way, it always reminds me of, of spirit and the divine masculine, of consciousness, of light, of the father, grandfather, fire, grandfather, sun, is, this divine masculine force, and in its purest, most powerful way is always welcoming us just as we are. And so as we start to settle into this space together, I welcome each one of us exactly as we are in this moment, and really give thanks to the spirit of the fire, grandfather fire, for being a unifying force for humanity, for bringing people together from all walks of life, through all different timelines and lineages and traditions, and unifying us as one people with one sacred heart, one love. So in this session together, as we step into this festival, this is a really beautiful opportunity for us to bring to this fire things that we want to release, things that we might want to put to rest, things that we might want to have transmuted and transformed. And once I share a little bit about the Agni Hotra fire and my relationship to it and this practice, we will be working towards a specific time where the fire needs to be lit at an exact time, 5, 15 and 36 seconds, which is the true point of sunset here on this piece of land where I am at the moment in the Northern Rivers on Bundjalung country. And so as we work towards that time, I'm going to get us to really reflect on what it is that we're wanting to bring to this fire. And not only for ourselves and for the people that we love, but also for, you know, humanity worldwide, for ourselves as a species, and for this whole planet and all the multi-dimensional realms that we might be holding in our hearts and minds, the kind of change that we all know is necessary and possible we can bring to this fire. So I'm going to invite us, before I speak too much more, to just take a moment to close down our eyes. And once again, just have a little checkpoint Charlie moment, like a sacred pause together. Just catching our breath, each one of us individually, but also here together as a circle. So just allowing all of the day that's come before this moment to just dissolve into the background once again and bring ourselves here into full presence. And through the agency of the air dropping deeper and deeper into our physical being, into our bodies, and feeling the tailbone touch down upon the seat or the ground or the earth beneath us. Arriving into the womb cave, feeling the belly swelling and expanding as we consciously inhale, inspire life. And the natural release, the intelligence of the body, knowing how to let go. And just softening again a little more, surrendering the weight over to the energy beneath us, to the earth, to the mother. And as we begin to come more home into our bodies, we might start to notice our sensory perception beginning to widen and expand, and perhaps even feeling the clothes on our skin, feeling the micro muscle movements as the diaphragm expands and contracts, perhaps feeling our hands in our laps or our tongue in our mouth, perhaps even feeling the cool breeze passing the skin. And connecting with our emotional intelligence, all that we can feel, all that's to be felt. Feeling the belly and the breasts and the heart there at the center beating. And perhaps once again, as we did in the opening ceremony, coming to kindle close to the fire inside each one of our hearts, in our sacred human hearts. This little flame, inner fire, spiritual fire burning in our hearts. I'm just going to invite us to become acquainted with what's alive in our heart space right now in this moment. As we come home and sit by our own inner hearth. And becoming acquainted with the sensations, the qualities, the texture, the temperature, the atmosphere around the heart space. Noticing where your heart might feel open and receptive, and perhaps areas where your heart might feel closed and guarded. And then journeying even deeper into the heart space to feel the intention of what brought us all here this afternoon. What brought us all here into this space to gather by this Agni, ancient fire ceremony. And as we become acquainted with our own hearth fires, you might begin to notice the fire of the other sisters in this circle spotted around the country, around the globe. Lights on the inner terrain in this multi-dimensional realm that we inhabit. And just acknowledging all of these little hearth fires that we're gathered by, and the unifying fire at the center. Grandfather fire, Father Sun, and the Agni. And once you feel the intention that's called you here, just allowing it to expand with each breath, breathing like we do when we're lighting a fire, fanning the flames with the breath, with the element of air, breathing into the heart, allowing the fire to grow. Continuing to breathe into the heart, allowing our intentions to all expand, to fill up our entire bodies. And expanding even further still to fill up our entire space, the room that we're in at the moment, our homes. Until we're sitting in the atmosphere of our intention. Sitting in the atmosphere, in the intelligence, beyond words, the felt sense of our intentions, of our prayers, of our sacrifice, our offering into this fire ceremony tonight. And then finally, I'm going to invite us to refine and focus our attention. Allow one thing to emerge from this inner world, from this fire within us. One thing that we want to offer over to the Agni fire tonight. And trusting and knowing that each one of us will bring exactly what needs to be brought in this moment for the collective. And each one of us making one offering, clear, crystal clear offering into this fire ceremony. allowing that thing to totally fill your awareness and the entire space, so that you don't need to think about it, you don't need to hold on to it. It simply exists here and it's ready and waiting for the fire to be lit. I'm going to invite you now just to gently begin to bring your awareness back to your physical body. You might want to gently open up your eyes, give your body a little rub with your hands, have a little stretch, reorient to your own space where you find yourselves. And then I'll begin to share with you about the Agni Hotra fire. And so some of you may be already familiar with Agni Hotra and some of you may not. I will share in the Facebook group after tonight's offering some information and some links and resources where you can go on your own little research project to learn as much as you feel you want to learn about this, because Agni Hotra is an ancient science, and there's a lot of research that's been done all throughout time and a lot of information which I could only really scratch the surface of in this 1 hour that I've got before, or even less now, that I've got to share with you before lighting the fire. And so the Agni Hotra is part of the Vedic system, part of the Ayurvedic science of health and healing and well-being. And it's part of what they call homotherapy, which in essence is the purifying agency of fire. And there's been all sorts of, different bodies of research that have gone into actually measuring the effects of this fire and its ability to alter the state of the atmosphere. And in changing the state of the atmosphere, it changes everything within its reach. And so I'm going to, as best as I can, sort of introduce the different elements of this science to you, and then I'll practice it in this space so that you can see it operating in real time. So the Agni Hotra in its essence is a fire that is created in this inverted pyramid. This is a copper pyramid, you can see, and it would, a pyramid would stand like this with its 4 edges, and it's been inverted like so. Now it has to be a specific type of angles that they have measured out for the energy, when we are lighting this fire, to spin in a particular way and create a particular type of magnetic field that at sunrise and at sunset traps and attracts and magnetizes the subtle energies of the light that's emitted from the sun, from the great fire in the center of our universe, captures the light into this pot and burns through these ingredients, which I'll share with you in a moment, to essentially create a toroidal field of energy that emits a purifying, I don't even know if there's a word for it, like a soma, a magic, a purifying force throughout the atmosphere. And that purifying force travels up to 10 feet, some say even further, in radius in all directions of the fire. And so whilst there's many different types of fires that can be done in an Agni pot, there are many different mantras that can be sung. A true Agni Hotra fire is done in accordance with the circadian rhythms. So they're done at true sunset and true sunrise and true sunset according to where you are on the planet. And there is this very extensive resource where you can put your address into this calendar, and it gives you all of the exact sunrises and sunsets to your location so that you know when to perform your Agni Hotra ceremonies. The ingredients of this copper pyramid, obviously copper is an amplifying metal. So not only does the pyramid shape create a magnetic field where it absorbs and spins the energy, then the copper actually sort of expands and radiates and transmits it like a conductor, conducts the energy. And so this pyramid then needs to sit on a copper tray. And in this ceremony, we're working with organic cow dung, like this, which needs to be collected at a particular time of the morning before the sun hits the fresh cow poo. So people are out there collecting cow dung, and obviously in India, where this is, the cows are considered the most holy and the most close animal to God. Their cows are very well taken care of, and these cow patties need to be collected from very well looked after cows for this to be create a healing effect. So the cow patties are all collected in a big slurry, and then they're put out in little paddies, and they're kept to dry in the sun for a couple of days, and they need to be taken really good care of so that flies don't get into them, and there's nothing else can impact it to make this really perfect, beautiful, relatively nice grassy smelling paddy, which is one of the main ingredients. The second ingredient in this fire is ghee. So it's a purified butter where I make my own ghee from butter. You also need to have organic brown rice, and obviously your candle. And so when we begin this ceremony shortly, I'm going to lather each of these cow patties with ghee. I'm going to place them here in the Agni Hotra pot, and at 5:15 and 36 seconds I'm going to read this ancient mantra. And so my teacher, Zanetta Shakti, is the woman who taught me, and she is almost like a walking, talking Agni Hotra pot. This woman, she's just a phenomena, really. And she has done all that she can to bring this Agni Hotra science here to this region, and has been teaching and sharing fires with people here in the Northern Rivers for as long as I know. And she's printed out all of my mantras for me. And so there are mantras for many different things. There's purification mantras, there's mantras for sunrise, sunset, the Om Triambakam mantra, and many different mantras that can be sung into an Agni fire. But in this case, with Agni Hotra, this true sunrise, sunset Agni Hotra, the ash, what it remains from this fire. So not only do we come to this fire and we harness the light from the sun into this pot, and we burn these sacred ingredients, and we sing these mantras as an offering to the purifying agency of the fire and the sustaining forces of life and we we allow the fire to burn up in its intelligence, whatever it needs to burn up. What is left of this ash is actually probably one of the most profound miracles and magical substances that I know of, to be honest. And so the Agni Hotra ash, the remnants of the cow dung that's been burnt in this way, prepared in this way, prayed on this way, burnt in this way, creates a medicine. And so the ash can be used in a whole number of different ways for healing. And so commonly it can be put into water to purify water. It can be put in water and drunk as a detoxification medicine aid. I actually make an Agni Hotra honey, which I put my ash with local honey here, and I add frankincense oil, and I use it as a body scrub. So I use it all over my body to cleanse my physical body, but more important, my aura, and to cleanse myself from things that we unconsciously just pick up, or that we're carrying, unnecessary energies that we pick up and carry that we're not aware of. And it can be used, it's known to help heal and alleviate many, many different things. I was actually doing a little bit of reading beforehand in my little homotherapy ancient science book about how the ash is actually found to be one of the only things that can actually counteract radioactivity. And so the ash can also be given to the plants and to the garden to help the plants grow and to be nourished and really healthy, strong, vital plants. But essentially, the fire in itself, because it's purifying, because we all require air, to exist, because it's purifying the air and the toxins in the air, it's creating an environment where health and well-being can thrive. It's really, really very quite basic. And it kills harmful bacteria and basically just neutralizes, neutralizes negativity and toxicity, and then restores positivity and health and well-being. So this is a practice that I've incorporated into my life. I don't practice every single day. I practice when I feel called to practice. But I do always have my Agni Hotra honey on hand for when I'm not feeling well, or I'm feeling heavy, or I'm feeling burdened by something. And I know people that have had, incredible miracles happen by working with the honey. They've managed to heal scars that they've had on their faces for a really long time, and all sorts of different ailments that have been healed with this honey. And so there is an Agni Hotra, community farm that is down here in New South Wales. There's many people practicing Agni Hotra all around the world. But there is a farm down in New South Wales, down I think on the Central Coast or the North Central Coast. And according to Zanetta, they've had Agni Hotra sunrise, sunset, burning every single day since the day that they established the farm there. And they have their own cows, and this cow dung, which Zanetta so kindly gifted to me, is from that farm there as well. So people totally dedicate their life to this. And tonight's ceremony, whilst it's very much an offering to this space and to the women here and to this work that we're doing and to this remembering and cultivating of these ancient practices, I'm also really wanting to light this fire for Zanetta. She's actually in hospital as we speak, and a big part of my prayer that I'm holding is for her health and well-being, and that all of the work and all the healing and cleansing and purification that she has so generously created and offered others comes back to her tenfold, if not more. Because one of the other beautiful things about this fire is that you're not allowed to perform Agni Hotra for money. It's one of these things that it's very well known, and one of the first things that you're taught is that if you're asked to perform Agni Hotra, or you feel inspired or compelled to perform Agni Hotra, there's meant to be no exchange of money as in the process. And so she has very much dedicated her life, and all the hours that she's spent teaching me and other people, she's done from the goodness of her heart, and because she wants this fire to keep burning, and for humanity, particularly at this time right now where our environment and our atmosphere specifically is being completely laden with environmental toxins that are literally being sprayed from the sky down onto us. The more people practicing these fires, the better. Yeah. And so lastly, the other thing that I wanted to share about the Agni Hotra fire is that because the purifying field that it creates is so strong, usually when you're sitting in a circle in physical proximity with one another, menstruating women, they're advised to not be within a certain, at least 10 foot of the fire. And that's because the fire, because it is such a strong magnetic field, and the energy that's channeled into the pot is kind of moving in this outwards toroidal field. So the energy is moving, getting trapped here and moving back up and out. It can actually interfere with the menstrual cycle. Some women report actually their moon ceasing, within hours of being within a proximity of an Agni Hotra fire. Obviously not for good, but it does interfere with the menstrual cycle, and mainly because of the direction of the energy. So when we're bleeding and we're on our moon time, our energy changes direction and is moving down and inwards, and that's the magnetic field of woman. When she's on her moon time, the energy is traveling in and down, whereas the Agni Hotra fire is moving in and up. So just to be aware of that. But that's one of the beautiful things about sharing it in this way, that even if you are on your moon in this moment, you're able to receive the blessing of this fire and not being impacted in that way. Yeah. I wonder, before I start setting up the fire, whether anybody might have any questions or anything that they might want to add, if anybody's had any experience with Agni Hotra, or just to open up the space for some communication, connection, anything that might have stood out for you in that sharing before we begin preparing for the fire.
I'd love to, Melee. That was just blowing my mind. Thank you. It feels like such an important practice for this time. Something that's just really landing with me around the energy. I've not experienced one. This is all very new to me. And the piece that's really landing is the entire intentional process felt like bliss. I was like, wow, I want to be one of those people that have the divine responsibility of tending to the cow shit. And that intricate ceremonial process it must be for those people. And I guess there's I'm coming to bleed just to bring in as well. And I'm feeling a lot in that, and feeling how the simplicity of that is something that maybe here in our culture, Queensland, Australia, we don't experience. And there was a little bit of sadness in my heart for not feeling connected or available to that way of living and experience in my current reality. So yeah, lots of beautiful pieces. Thank you so much. The fire feels very alive in life, and it feels so perfect to open this collective prayer space with. So thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, I feel like it is a great, a point of grief for many of us here in the West. Having been, sort of severed from these really simple rituals, daily rituals and practices and traditions. And I feel like, I mean that this was very much what women, it was a big part of who and what we were before the witch hunts took place. And I'm so, so grateful that there are these, these traditions that have managed to last, through time and despite all the odds. And thanks to, a lot of dedication and devotion of many different people probably, and also even the curiosity to even research this and actually measure it and make it valid, in this modern society when things can be so disregarded as, woo-woo. And I think for that reason, because there has been measurable impact, it's actually made it survive, through the Industrial Revolution to this day and age, and it's also such a gracious tradition where there's no sort of dogma really about who can and who can't perform this fire. If you're willing to adhere to the guidelines and principles, then all are welcome to tend to and keep this fire. You don't need to be of certain blood or certain color or certain creed. And it just speaks, sings so strong to my heart for that reason. Yeah. Yeah, and it really gives me hope too, that there are many people, even though on the surface here in Australia it looks like everybody's just at the pub and at the shopping centre. There are people tending to cow paddies out there and burning Agni Hotra fires day in, day out, keeping the prayer alive. And, that gives me so much hope and so much faith, and just keeps us in connection and in belonging to, a much deeper thread that runs through this country, beyond the kind of superficial culture, I suppose, that we see on the surface. Would anybody else like to share anything?
Yeah, I would. I was really touched by your prayer for your teacher, the woman that, and I just want to also bring my prayers to that. And I'm also feeling that something collectively in this space that's been tapping me on the shoulder is for us to dedicate this journey not only to ourselves but potentially to those loved ones or those that don't travel in these ways. And I'm just really feeling that and would like to dedicate this fire and a part of this fire to my mum. And yeah, really bring her into this ceremony this evening. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, that could be a really beautiful. Let's maybe one by one, perhaps just speak as I'm preparing and, lathering these ingredients here and setting them in the pot. Perhaps we could speak into the space what we feel is alive in the field to bring to this fire.
Yeah, I feel to continue on the words that came at the beginning when you dropped us in were self-sacrifice, and the way that we as women, I want to say, dedicate ourselves at our own expense. And there's this real changing of the guard that I feel that's taking place within me, of instead of it being a constant yes and an overgiving, it's actually a pause and a recalibration and a deeper feeling of like, uh, is that really of the highest good of all? Because it's really not the highest good of all for me or for the woman to be depleted and undernourished and stretched beyond her capacity. And I really wonder what it looks like as a culture of women to be uplifting one another in that way and really changing this paradigm and this narrative of giving of ourselves at our own expense. And what would it be to normalize a no, a loving no, and for that to be okay, for that to be okay in our own systems first, by giving ourselves permission to relinquish the roles and the responsibility, martyrdom and the victimhood, to actually value ourselves enough to those responsibilities and sit in that no, to then find better and more nourishing and sustainable solutions for all. Yeah. Yeah.
Ashe, I hear you.
Mm.
Put that in the fire.
Can you hear me? Because I've just changed headphones. Yeah, cool. When I spoke in before and you reflected collective grief, I would like to put collective grief into the fire, because my sense is that if we can elevate collective grief, we can reach hope. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. Whew, this feels really big. Yeah, when we were dropping in, I've been holding a lot of the grief and the collective grief before me, especially around being a mother and being separated from my child at birth for a little while. But that still stays with me. And every time I visit those feelings, it takes me to so many other places and times and other bodies and other experiences, and it's so deep and so profound, that grief and the sadness, but also, like, for me, there's an element of guilt and shame, and I would so love to release all of that from my being. So thank you, and let me give that to the fire.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for making that your offering for yourself and, yeah, for all mothers and all children. My prayer that I'm adding to this pot, in addition to my prayer for my teacher, is the relinquishing and the releasing of scarcity from humanity. I really pray that we come to recognize and really build relationship with the fact that there is just more than enough, and that we have everything that we need, and that I have everything I need, and that there's nothing in my way, nothing in our way from receiving what we need, from having our needs met. Yeah, burning up anything that's in the way of having my needs met and having my dreams actualized. All the dreams that I have for my life, I no longer want to yearn for them and hope for them and pray for them and wish for them. I want them to actualize. I want everything that's in the way of them actualizing to be burnt up in this fire. And anything that's in the way of anybody else's prayers and dreams for their life on earth at this time to be burnt up in this fire. Ashe, Yahweh, Amen, Aho.
I just want to quickly say that I don't have very good reception here. So can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. When you were dropping us in earlier, I had trust come through, just repeating. And then when I allowed myself to really drop in deeper to what kind of trust, it was just this, this download of just trusting the free fall and full surrender. And similar to what Mel was just speaking into, allowing no limitations, just really allowing ourselves as women to feel empowered by our own discernment and our own integrity as we make our decisions and keep walking forward, knowing that we'll be supported in whatever it is that we are doing, and just jumping in and knowing that we are all perfectly perfect exactly where we are. And so, burning away, I guess, the distrust and the mind noise that sometimes clouds us from knowing how supported that we are. Thank you, Anahol.
I will jump in and add what I'm adding to the fire. Gosh, I have so much energy just going through me right now. I don't even know how to fully verbalize what I'm trying to say, but I know I'm going to throw fear into the fire, that's for sure. But I just feel collectively there are so many of us women here, not just here but broader, but here, that just we're here for healing, and we're here for fully stepping into a divine feminine power. And I'm hoping for that for all of us collectively. Yeah.
For about another just 3 minutes before I'm going to light the fire. If anybody else wants to add anything verbally.
Piece that's tapping me on the shoulder at the moment is to relinquish and release any fear around love, the giving of it, the receiving it, the being seen in it. Yeah, that feels like, my prayer to offer up the fear of the giving, receiving, being seen in the experience of love.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm also feeling too, an offering into this fire, for the collective of the women here, the subtleties around the mother wounding, the subtleties and challenges around sister wounding, and even so far as energies of betrayal and abandonment, and like someone shared before, the distrust. Just really offering into this fire anything that's ever gotten in the way of us being able to see ourselves in one another, and to recognize just how much stronger we are when we're unified, when we're not in comparison and in competition in our own minds with one another. And just burning through anything that might be holding women apart or in battle with themselves, within each other, so that we can really step into a unified space where where true healing can happen. The sky's crying here. All right. The sky is crying and the kookaburras are laughing. So I'm just letting you know, I'm just looking at my phone so I have the exact time here. I'm not scrolling and lighting the fire. Agnaye Swaha. Agnaye Idam Na Mama. Prajapataye Swaha. Prajapataye Idam Na Mama. Satyam Sharanam Gacchami Satyadharmam Sharanam Gacchami Satyadharma Sangam Sharanam Gacchami Satyam Sharanam Gacchami Satyadharmam Sharanam Gacchami Satyadharma Sangam Sharanam Gacchami Satyam Sharanam Gacchami Satyadharmam Sharanam Gacchami Satyadharmam Sangam Sharanam Gacchami. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And as this Agni Hotra fire comes to a close, through my mind's eye and my heart's intelligence, I send to you through the intelligence of the air and the atmosphere, the smoke of this Agni to cleanse your hearts and your homes, your body, minds, and spirits. And all energies that are not in alignment with love, light, and wisdom. Now and forevermore, for the ultimate good of all. And so in bringing a unification of this masculine fire spirit to the fire of the great goddess into the fire of Kali Ma, Mother Kali, destroyer, creatrix, purifier. I'm going to invite us in our own language to sing to the purifying force of Kali Ma and her goddess fire to bring this evening's session to a close. If you have a rattle or a drum nearby, please feel so welcome to pick it up and evoke Kali into your heart and your home. And if not, can simply tap your body with your hand or over your heart. This song is a call and response, and some of you might be familiar with it. If you're not, all you need to do is listen to what I sing and then repeat what you've heard. Om Namo Namo Kali, Om Namo, Om Namo Namo Kali, Om Namo. Namo Namo Kali, Om Namo, Om Namo Namo Kali, Om Namo. Oh, Great Mother, we invoke you in this space. Take away our pain and fill us with your grace. Oh, Great Mother, we invoke you in this space. Take away our pain and fill us with your grace. Burn it all away, Kali, burn it all away. If it doesn't serve us, then burn it all away. Burn it all away, Kali, burn it all away. If it doesn't serve us, then burn it all away. Om Namo Namo Kali, Om Namo, Om Namo Namo Kali, Om Namo, Om Namo Namo Kali, Om Namo, Namo Namo Kali, Om Namo. Oh, Great Mother, we invoke you in this space. Take away our pain and fill us with your grace. Oh, Great Mother, we invoke you in this space. Take away our pain and fill us with your grace. Burn it all away, Kali, burn it all away. If it doesn't serve us, then burn it all away. Burn it all away, Kali, burn it all away. If it doesn't serve us, then burn it all away. Om Namo Namo Kali, Om Namo, Namo Namo Kali, Om Namo, Om Namo Namo Kali, Om Namo, Namo Namo Kali, Om Namo. Oh, Great Mother, we invoke you in this space. Take away our pain and fill us with your grace. Oh, Great Mother, we invoke you in this space. Take away our pain and fill us with your grace. Burn it all away, Kali, burn it all away. If it doesn't serve us, then burn it all away. Burn it all away, Kali, burn it all away. If it doesn't serve us, then burn it all away. So I'm going to invite you, if you're working there with your own altar, if you haven't already, just to take a moment to light up some incense or some sage or some Palo Santo or Copal or any kind of smoke cleansing herbs that you might have there in your home. And bringing the essence of this ritual and ceremony that I just shared with you into your own space through the cleansing aroma of these incredible plant allies. And so after these types of rituals, it's really beautiful to just have some quiet time. Prefer not to bring too much conversation and to minimize the returning too quickly to cerebral activity. I'm going to invite you, once this session's closed, perhaps to just sit perhaps for a little longer in your own space of quiet contemplation. If you're wanting to, draw as much from this evening sessions as possible, you might want to make some notes in a journal, and, perhaps in your own way, giving your space there a cleanse. If you don't have any smoking plants around, you might want to have a beautiful ritual bath or just something to bring this energy of purification and cleansing into your own home. And most importantly, I just want to thank each one of you that has been present here in real time for being anchors and pillars and acupressure points of this energy and this transmission, for holding this circle and this space with me. Really give thanks to you from the depths of my heart, and sending my blessings to all of those who are tuning in at a different time and a different place, for all the ways in which this fire touches and blesses your life. And I will share in the Facebook group some connections, ways of accessing and bringing more of this type of fire ceremony into your own life in real time. And if you want to continue connection and conversation with me, you can just follow, the links there, and I'm available at any time to keep the connection alive in between the spaces in this online festival. Deep blessings to each one of you for this full moon that we are in the midst of, and the Lionsgate portal, and all of the magic and medicine that each one of you is receiving and also sharing in your presence, in your prayers here in this space. Thank you. If anybody wants to jump online and speak, you're welcome to. Otherwise, that will close down the portal doors.
Just want to say thank you for your incredible sacred offering. That was incredible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mila. That was absolutely beautiful. I had no idea what to expect, but that was more than, anything I could have hoped for. It was absolutely beautiful and so touching, and I so look forward to learning everything there is to know about this beautiful fire ceremony, because it's something that I would love to carry into my day-to-day life. It's so beautiful. Thank you.
You're so welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you, beautiful woman. That was amazing.
You're welcome, love. Thank you so much for having me here.
Mm.
My pleasure.
Such a gift.
Mm.
All right. Thank you.
Good night. Have a good rest. Sweet dreams.
Bye.
Bye-bye.